Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. And welcome to Thursday's edition of the dceu Daily. Now, before we start, and I've got a brilliant article from Screen Rant to read to you about the Joker again. It's all about the Joker, and it should be all about the Joker. It's the latest DC film in cinemas. But first, we're friends, right? Friends help each other out. I need your help. No, I want you to subscribe, of course, but that's not what I'm asking. I want you to like this. Of course I do. I want you to follow me on Twitter at MoviesTVMad. Of course I want that. But I need a favour. Now, as I do my videos, you see these videos behind me, and I'm sure you enjoy watching them. I enjoy watching them throughout the day. I am obsessed with DC films, whether it's Superman the movie to the modern day DC films. Now, the thing is with these trailers, I download them via my PlayStation 3 through MP4. Now, I used to be able to find sites that did that for me, but I think because these copyright laws are kind of coming into effect, even with trailers, imagine they won't even allow you to download trailers anymore. Marketing, ridiculous, right? Anyway, right, if you know a way I can download trailers on my MP4, via MP4, via my PlayStation 3, please comment down below because I'm desperate. So if you know of a site where I can easily download my trailers via MP4, via my PlayStation 3, not YouTube converter, I can't do that on my PS4. But if you do know a way, if you do know a site, please comment down below. Right, let's get on with today's show. So what we got here? My lovelies, Joker will make as much profit as Avengers Infinity War. I'll repeat that headline for you, just for you lot at the back. Joker will make as much profit as Avengers Infinity War, and personally, it's a much better film. Sorry, MCU fans, it's a fact. Right, let's read this article. Warner Bros. Joker is on pace to be more profitable comic book outing than Avengers Infinity War. Since its release earlier this month, the R-rated film has been racking up box office numbers, becoming one of the most successful R-rated movies of all time. It could quite possibly eclipse all other R-rated movies. It's going to do that. It's going to do that. It goes without saying that Joker isn't one's typical comic book movie, if it is at all. Well, it is a comic book movie because it's about a comic book character, so there. A character piece, it has more in common with films like Taxi Driver, The King of Comedy, and Dog Day Afternoon than it does a big budget blockbuster like Avengers or Justice League. Yes, it doesn't have anything in common, but it is a comic book movie. While other R-rated comic book movies like Logan and Deadpool, which Joker is on track to beat, have done well at the box office, neither of those films featured a protagonist quite as disturbed as Arthur Fleck. Joaquin Phoenix's Joker is one drenched in mental illness and despair. The film's gritty realism earned itself an 8-minute standing ovation at the Venice Film Festival, and it hasn't stopped gaining traction ever since. Positive and negative traction, but no publicity is bad publicity, right? We know that. This is what I always tell everyone at the network I work at, head of drama here at Sigma TV here in Cyprus, of course. Any publicity you get for your piece of work is great. If they say horrible things about you, don't get defensive. Just take it in your stride. Joker made a record-breaking for October, 96 million over its opening weekend. Audiences' fascination with the Todd Phillips-directed Joker has not only led to Oscar buzz for Phoenix, but an astounding amount of commercial success for its filmmakers. According to Deadline, Joker could make at least $464 million after global theatrical TV and home entertainment windows. Even more if it exceeds $900 million at the worldwide box office. To put this into context, Avengers Infinity War made $500 million last year in black ink. However, that film cost hundreds of millions to make. That's the point. Joker had a budget of no more than $70 million, which is a pivotal situation. At this point, there seems to be little standing in Joker's way in order to become the highest grossing R-rated film of all time. Joker needs to surpass another big budget film, Deadpool 2, which had a global gross of $783 million. Joker is already at $737.5 million, as it continues to stomp on ticket sales for expensive blockbusters like Gemini Man and Zombieland Double Tap. which it beat last week, Joker seems poised to make history. Joker, being a restrained character study, didn't need to indulge in special effects or lavish set pieces, and will profit all the same. Its success, which many find surprising, it's not surprising to me, seems to debunk Hollywood's big budget philosophy that one has to spend money to make money. Its mature themes and explorative nature prove that audiences just like a good story, regardless of the shape or size. Unconcerned with catering heavily to the superhero genre or appealing to a wide demographic, Joker may change the way studios approach comic book films. Wow, that was a good article. Bit short, but it was a good article, but you get the picture, right? So you're saying, at first, when I read that headline, you're saying, oh, how can it make more money or as much money as Infinity War? Infinity War made what, 2 or 3 billion? That's the point. It costs so much more to make. This is a real movie used with directorial artistry, and writing. There's no special effects. Maybe there's a little CGI here and there. But basically, they made this film the old-fashioned way. And this is why I said when I saw the test screens of this film will change everything. Now, Neurotic said, is it Gary from Neurotic said a very interesting thing that I disagreed with. I like the Neurotic channel. Is it Neurotic? You should go and follow that channel. He's a very interesting guy, very intelligent guy, by the way. But I didn't agree with him. He said Joker would mean that they would try and make films similar to Joker, but they wouldn't be very good because they'd be trying to pattern what Joker did. That's not the case. What studios are going to see now, not Disney, because there's only one way Disney can make films and promote films. They're on that road. There's no coming off of the road that they are on. And that's going to get them into trouble. The way Joker has changed everything, Warner Brothers and the rest of the studios will now see what's happened and say, do you know what? Let's make movies the old-fashioned way. Let's do pure storytelling. Let's do what they did. Let's get an auteur director who knows what they're doing and can flesh out a character. Let's pick these characters from comic books, right? Not just comic books. Imagine doing an amazing character study on Robin Hood or the Sheriff of Nottingham. Everything is you can do it about everyone. Imagine the Sheriff of Nottingham doing a character piece on him. Now, it may not be interesting to you at this point if you're part of this generation and you're quite young. But I think it's interesting, a character piece on Robin Hood. They've just made a Robin Hood movie, this year or last year? It flopped, right? So, and by the way, no one's ever beaten Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. Amazing. Love you, Kevin Costner. And Kevin Reynolds directed that movie. Great job. But what this film is going to do now, and the way it's going to change everything, it's going to take iconic characters. Imagine doing a character piece on James Bond. This is what you can do now. But it's not just James Bond. What about Blofeld or someone like that? This has shown people that you can take a character, study them, and if you write and direct it properly, you can make it on budget, and it can be highly successful. Now, there's no question about it. There's many reasons why this film's successful. One of the major reasons, of course, is that Joker has been gagging for his own movie for years. He's as popular as Batman. He is. Before Ledger, before Nicholson, just in the pages and in the animated TV shows, Joker has always been very, very popular. So people were always going to flock to a movie about the Joker. You add someone like Joaquin Phoenix, who is a genius of an actor. Todd Phillips has done an amazing job. And he was the biggest fan, basically shouting about this film, saying, what we have done is special. We are proud of this film. Now, everyone says that about their film, from James Gunn to the Russo boys, But when Phillips said it, he was telling the truth. So what he's done, now people keep on saying, this has got more in common with Taxi Driver than a Justice League or an Avengers movie. Maybe so, but it is a comic book film because it's about a comic book character. You can't say this is not a comic book film just because it hasn't got billions of CGI shots, right, and a few gags in it. The point is, this is a comic book movie. This is an R-rated movie that had a small window for an audience. No audience in China, and its money is amazing. And as I said yesterday, this proves rewatchability. Now, I wasn't sure what the film's rewatchability was going to be, but people are going back to watch this. I think mainly because there's some there's some mystery box elements about this film, if you like. J.J. Abrams' mystery box format has come into some criticism. I kind of like it. I think it worked in his Alias show and in his Lost show. That's just my personal opinion. And I think because there's some mystery box elements to this film, and there is, you don't know if Arthur's imagining the whole thing, or some of the thing, or part of the thing, or none of the thing. So you keep on going back to try and work it out for yourself. That's the key element. The false and contrived and controversy, which I think Warner Brothers kind of contrived themselves very cleverly. I would just congratulate Ann Sarnoff. She just seems to be a great leader for Warner Brothers. She's winding up a few things, and as I said, it wouldn't surprise me if she's behind the so-called Martin Scorsese versus MCU controversy. A very clever lady doing great things for Warner Brothers. So this film, it's made money, it's won critical acclaim. Forget the bloggers and some of the critics. They're political. I don't want to talk about them. I want to talk about the millions and millions of people around the world who love this film. You see those stairs there? People have actually gone to the Bronx, to those stairs, and they're dancing and taking videos. Now, they're pissing off people who live there, but who cares about them? Sorry, Bronx people, but do you know what I mean? So it's amazing. This character, the portrayal of this character has touched people. Arthur's story has touched people. And I would say, if Arthur's story has touched you, if you know someone suffering, help them. Talk them into getting the help they need and deserve. Don't expect them to live on their own, to be on their own and get help for themselves. Help them. This film's commentary is beautiful. The commentary in this film is important commentary, much more important than identity politics or talking about the fictional term toxic masculinity, because it is a fictional term for people who don't care about people who are hungry, who are suffering from mental illness, children who are abused. They don't care about real world problems. They don't care about the problems that me and you face every day. Todd Phillips and Joaquin Phoenix do. And I do apologise that they're white men, but these two white men happen to care about the world they live in. And they're not just representing white men, they're representing everyone. All cultures, both genders, actually, not both genders, there's loads of genders now, better not offend anyone. But if you know what I'm saying, this film, his platform has reached so many people and touched so many people. And Walter Hamada, a man that nobody talks about, is behind this whole thing. Yes, this was Todd Phillips' idea, but he went to Walter and Walter greenlit it. It was Walter who went to Warner Brothers and fought for this project. When Todd Phillips says Warner Brothers were a bit hesitant to make this an R-rated film and for it to be as compelling and as gritty as it was Walter Hamada who went to Sujihara at the time and said, we have got to do this film. Todd Phillips is a great filmmaker and I back him. Walter Hamada is from New Line Cinema. He brought all his creative talents from that factory onto DC Films, and he's opening up little pockets of the universe, the multiverse. It's amazing. It's Walter Hamada who's made the Flash movie happen, through one of his creatives at New Line Cinema. This is brilliant. Someone joked that he's going to run out of New Line Cinema people. He won't. New Line Cinema is exactly the point that Martin Scorsese is making against the MCU. New Line Cinema has artists working for it, very talented artists. We saw how brilliant a job David F. Sandberg did. That's Sandberg, did I say? Sandberg did with Shazam. That's down to Walter Hamada. Aquaman being a film that they could put out was down to Walter Hamada. The film was a mess originally. I know this for a fact, because I'm going to tell you something I haven't told anyone before. I did see the previous cut. That's all I'm going to say. But anyway, right, there is a previous cut, by the way, because the people running it were different before Walter came in and he fixed that mess. And I remember Collider saying that Aquaman is a mess. Now, Aquaman isn't the perfect film, but I tell you what, if you saw the original version of what they were going to do, you would be scared. So what Walter Hamada has done, he's come in, he's steadied the ship and done something incredibly special. and he can make films on budget. This is why the Joker movie is going to make just as much of a profit than Infinity War, because he can produce a film for under what we're going to say, under 100 million, right? Or whatever the budgets are, right? So let's just say this film cost, what are we going to say? 100 million? Let's say your average, I'm losing myself now, but let's just say the average comic book movie costs 250, 300 million with marketing and everything to put out there. This is amazing. Think about this, everyone. Think about this. This film cost under 100 million to make, as did Shazam. Right? Now, people, and I remember Chris Von Svensson saying this, that he's worried that all the DC movies will be made on budget. That is not the case. When they need to put money into them, they will. But even then, he will make sure, he's so clever, Hamada, he will make sure a 300 million movie that maybe will be an Avengers movie will cost maybe 200 million, 150 million. It will still look as good. People criticise the special effects on Shazam. Those effects were like that on purpose. Everything that was done with Shazam was done purposely for it to be child friendly. There are elements of that film that are scary, and it had to be scary, but not too scary. And that's the type of CGI you were getting to make sure those creatures weren't overly frightening. They were frightening, but you don't want to scare the kids because they wanted it to be a family film. There's people who love Zack Snyder, as I do, who want to criticise what Walter Hamada is doing. But don't get it twisted. Don't let your loyalty for Zack support this franchise. Something very, very special is happening. When a film like The Joker that's cost under 100 million is going to make as much of a profit than a film that cost 300 million to make, you know you have a very special creative. Why don't Access Media ever talk about Walter Hamada? Because he's doing a great job. And when you're doing a great job, they don't talk about you, unless you're Lord Kevin Feige. And this guy is this guy's more talented than Feige, because what he has done and what Warner Brothers have done is actually said, right, let's activate this New Line Cinema factory to make these comic book movies. And it's working on such an amazing level. And to think for me, box office doesn't matter. I just want my films to make enough so we get more. So Joker has been a success. We're going to get a Black Label universe and we're going to get a Joker sequel. None of those things have been confirmed, but it's in my ear and I know it's true. And when I tell you something's true, it's true. You can take it to the bank, unless I say take it with a pinch of salt. I'm even hearing rumours that Christopher McQuarrie is still in with a shot of directing the next Superman movie. So watch this space for that. Follow Christopher McQuarrie on Twitter. He's very, very good, by the way. Lots of advice on directing and writing and how to make it in the movie industry, even advising people to have a second job. So watch that space for this. But I will finish off this video by saying that the DC Universe now is in excellent hands. I can't wait for Birds of Prey. I can't wait for Wonder Woman 84. I can't wait for all of you to see it. And I can't wait to see the finished theatrical cut of Wonder Woman. It's going to be very interesting what type of film that's going to be. So remember, comment down below about me downloading MP4 videos on my PS3. Let me know if there's a site I can go on, because I'm missing a couple of trailers now and it's really pissing me off. So please like, share and subscribe. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll be back tomorrow with more DCEU Daily.